What's up, everybody? We back, man, with a new video. We're gonna get into it, man. Hopefully everybody been doing pretty good. I have, but I got a couple things I wanted to talk about, man. And it's something I seen online today, and it was like, stuff I've been thinking about, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you have. The state of the world that we in right now is not so good, and this guy, he posted on IG, basically he was saying, to change things, we need to stop going with the program. So he basically was like, stop the circus, like the sporting events, NBA, NFLs, the World Cup, MLB, stop worshiping celebrities. He was even saying, like, stop going to work. Do not go to work, do not support, go out here paying for gas that's way too high, those type of things, to stop and to get basically put a big reset on the whole system itself because it's corrupted. And, he was also speaking about the people that are in charge that do some evil things, as far as, like, he called them, what'd he say? Blood drinking baby eaters, you know what I mean? And I've heard some sick things, but yeah, he was basically saying stop supporting these people that are quote unquote in charge of where we live, and we pay taxes to the harm other countries with missiles and things like that. And I mean, he made sense. He was real passionate about it. He was a younger guy too, so I was like, it's good to see that people are free thinkers and wanting to wake up. And it just got me to thinking on a smaller scale, because I did have this idea as far as like where the 40-hour work week, where did it come from? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I had this in my notes, and it started with Henry Ford of the Ford Motor Company in 1926. That's where it was originated. So a business owner came up with his own work week schedule for his workers, and it turned into this global thing, almost, well, at least in the US. And I'm like, on a smaller scale, or, one of the points that he spoke on, that's where I'm at with it. As far as like working, it's like, are you working to live, or are you living to work? That's what I'm thinking, and that's my topic today. And I feel like a lot of us are living to work. You know what I mean? Like, work to live is meaning like you go to work, and then when you're done with work, you can live, you can pay your bills, you can go on a trip, you can go out to eat, you can, relax a little bit. But if you live in the work, you get up, go to work, come home, sleep, so you can go back to work, because if you stop that cycle, you can't survive out here. Food is high, gas is high, bills are high, everything is high. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like most of the people, especially in the United States, that's what, we go through. And it's a system that's set up for that. It's not because, you're in a bad situation, or, I mean, you could be, but for the most part, what I'm speaking on is like, it's set up that way. The cost of living is skyrocketed. And, like back in the 90s and the 80s and 70s, further back you go, even like in the 50s, you would say like $1 would get you a long way. Now $1 is nothing. The new dollar is $100 now. You know what I mean? Like, you get $100 now, somebody can be like, damn, that's it? You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy to think that, but that's the world we living in. But it's messed up, because I feel like it's just a big, rat race, or we stuck in this wheel where we can't get out. And they designed it like that. They don't want us to be well off. They want us to need them. And that's my opinion. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but that's how I feel. And, yeah, you can go out here and work multiple jobs, but you shouldn't have to. In the world's greatest country, you shouldn't have to do that to survive, and it's a lot of things that go into that, man. And I don't understand why, like, I get it for like, people that's less fortunate. They do deserve the help, especially if it's not their fault. Natural disasters or family loss or things like that. I get that. That's fine. But the financial assistance for like the middle class or, like the blue collar people, I don't get why it's not even available, because they say like for the EBT card, the food stamps or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They say, hey, you make too much. You gotta either quit your job, make under 20K a year to get these benefits, which it don't really make sense. Everybody should be eligible for it. It should just be a set limit. You know what I mean? Because like, let's say I'm doing what I do. Let's say I make 80 grand a year and I'm paying all the bills. I'm single. I got kids. This is just a scenario. And it's like, to get that assistance would help, would take off some of the pressures for, my situation in that case. But they don't do that. I mean, we still pay taxes. If I'm making 80K a year, I'm paying more taxes. Why can't I? Because you take those taxes and use them to fund yourself, foreign countries and things like that. But I can't use it to fund myself, which I don't understand that. It doesn't make sense. This whole, forget the work thing, this whole system, the whole government is backwards. And it's set up that way for a reason, to keep the big people on top and the little people at the bottom. And, I just feel like it's real relevant today, especially with social media and these people, the younger people starting to see it and they talk about it, and you can't help but see it on your feed over and over and over. So hopefully it's waking up people to the point where something can be done about it, because something got to shake, man. At the end of the day, it's going to get so bad to the point where society can collapse. And then we going to be on some, what's the name of it? I forgot the name of it. It's a movie, but it's like apocalyptic type thing where people fighting over food. You got to ration because stuff going to be so high. Then you're not going to be able to afford it. You know what I mean? And people going to rebel eventually. You can't keep raising up the prices like this and think everybody going to think this is normal or this is life or I'll tolerate it. I'll deal with it. No, we not dealing with that. And hopefully something change for the better sooner than later, because the way I see it, it's not getting any better no time soon. Them fat cats, they greedy. And they greasing their palms. They raise up the gas for a holiday or something like that. And, they got big bonuses and then they drop it at 50 cents and we think that's normal. You know what I'm saying? We think, oh, well, good. And then you turn back around, they raise it right back up. It's only for their own benefit. Because they can't say it's because of what's going on across seas right now, because they've been doing this for a long time. I remember back in the 90s, before I was even driving, it was like $1.20 a gallon. We'll never see that again, ever. I doubt that, unless the whole world reset and CERN, whatever that hydrogen collider resets history or something like that. We'll never see that again, because they making way too much money to do that. And I think it's real messed up, and like I seen somebody else saying too, like, it's just crazy how we all born on this earth and, we have this God-given planet that's for everybody, but y'all charging us for everything. You know what I mean? Like, you can see oranges and we get charged for them. They grow naturally, and I get supply and demand, but it's even bad when you can't even grow your own garden in your backyard. It's illegal. You can't even, filter your own rainwater. It's illegal. So, it's a system. It's set up for us to win, for them to win and us to fail. And I don't like it. Hopefully you guys are paying more attention to it, because we all suffering from it. We all not benefiting from it unless you the top 1%. and it's crazy. And I just felt like I wanted to talk about this. I had this topic for a while now, and I was like, I guess, you know, I saw the guy on Instagram and I was like, all right, let me go ahead and just talk about it. But yeah, this is just a quick little video, man, because like I said, man, everybody is getting to their breaking point. It's starting to change. Like, things are really getting out of hand and tensions are high, and people are starting to see the BS. They've been seeing it, but it's more magnified, you know, especially online. And I want to see where it go. Hopefully y'all prepared and stay ready so you don't got to get ready. And I'll leave it at that. But yeah, with that being said, man, this is a quick video. I got another one. I'm going to make another one today with my second topic. So make sure y'all check that out too. And yeah, it's good seeing you guys. I'll be back sooner than later. Peace out.